Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to After Hours with William in India. So today is September 14th. It was a tough start expected, and it was in fact, but the rebound was very sharp from the lows, and I think Nifty respect a lot of levels. So I think those of you who were in the morning sessions, we discussed them levels, right? And that's where we found a good support around. So I think many of you might be in the morning sessions. So over there we had discussed this level कि ये pink line और green line ये दो बहुत important है. The pink one is the 10 EMA, which is the last 10 days exponential moving average, and the second one is the 21 EMA. And we discussed those two levels ki हाँ 8 10 20 7 20. So these are the important levels, and that's what was holding. So after just opening below the 800 there was a sharp move. So open का जो लो था वही दिन का लो रहा, and there was a sharp recovery from there. So in fact it was a good that these levels hold. So now this 700 800 level on the downside becomes very important. So if you want to mark it down, then yes, 700 to 800 ka zone hai. So that becomes a very good support for the Nifty. On the higher side, see yesterday का high था 18,000 के ऊपर some 88 points. आज का है 18,000 के ऊपर some 90 points. So this 88 90 point, it was a similar high you can say for both the days. And यहाँ पे जो previous जो बना था वो 18,114. So I think if Nifty moves above these levels, वो 100 115 के ऊपर जाता है और पिछले दो दिन मतलब yesterday का और आज का हाई अगर निकाल लेता है और फिर यहाँ से भी ऊपर जाता है, then you can expect a further up move in the Nifty. However, even we saw that today's session was very good after the lower opening, but unfortunately this was a distribution day as well. So why distribution day? That indicates the 0.2% से ज्यादा का loss हुआ निफ्टी पे on the closing basis, and the volume was higher than the previous session. So these both the criteria satisfy for our distribution day. So today we will mark as the second distribution day. So इसके पहले का almost 16-17 sessions पहले आया था, which will expire after 7 more sessions. That is 25 session होने के बाद previous distribution expire होता है. But two distribution day and Nifty trading 1-2% above its key moving averages, we are not worried. So if the distribution day count increases, ठीक है, अभी क्या देखना है यहाँ से? So this is today's move. Let me give you an idea. So yeah, there was some profit booking after hitting a intraday high, almost 100 points of booking over there, and then the close was just above the 18,000 level. So now what I want to discuss about today's session is the distribution day count is low, right? The two count we are okay, but till when we are okay? Till the time this 700 800 zone, which I was talking just now, if these two lines are hold and we are with two distribution day, we are fine. Third one we are a bit worried, and if we see the more distribution day, if there is a fourth one, then that's the problem. And I think by that time ये level भी breach हो जाएगा. तो आइडियली डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन डे काउंट लो रहता है और 700 800 वाला जो 10 और 20 EMA का लेवल है वो होल्ड होता है, देन दैट इज वेरी पॉजिटिव फॉर द निफ्टी. ऑन द हायर साइड एज आई डिस्कस, जो प्रीवियस सेशन कल का सेशन और आज का जो हाई है वो निकाल लेता है, देन देयर कैन बी अ फर्दर अप मूव पॉसिबल इन द निफ्टी. The good part was today about the sectorial things. I will discuss it as we move ahead. Yes, so let's look at today's top gainers and losers. So banks, obviously, most will be there. IndusInd, SBI, Kotak, all three are there. Then power sector, NTPC, power grid bhi tha top gainers mein. And on the losing side, there's nothing much to discuss. We all know. Yes, it's IT sector. कल नास्डेक में 5% के फॉल के बाद Indian IT sector was under pressure. And not only the Nasdaq fall, but I think what we discussed in the morning about the hard landing and soft landing of US economy. So what happens, guys, is कि जो उनका spending है, so spending generally becomes lower when the inflation is high, the economic growth if starts coming down, then the spending on technology might reduce. And with Nasdaq under pressure, the spending on technology expected to be under pressure. I'm not saying it's already, but जो estimate है spending का वो already 1-2% कम हो गया है. अभी expectation है कि अगर ये position US में और ज़्यादा रही, more rate hikes, more inflation at a higher level, तो और भी स्पेंडिंग कट्स हो सकता है. एंड दैट्स व्हाई दी इन्फी, टीसीएस, टेकएम, एचसीएल सब प्रेशर में थे. एलएनटी वाज आल्सो डाउन ऑलमोस्ट 1.7%. बट वन थिंग टू ऑब्जर्व कि आईटी सेक्टर तो ठीक है वॉल्यूम से गिरा था, बट अगर आप दूसरे स्टॉक्स देखें तो रिलायंस वाज डाउन मोर देन 1% इन टुडेज मार्केट. राइट, टाटा मोटर वाज डाउन मोर देन 1% इन टुडेज मार्केट. बट रिलायंस और टाटा मोटर्स, ये जो दो स्टॉक्स है, मोर देन 10% वेटेज है, उसका वॉल्यूम ऑलमोस्ट 30-40% एवरेज से लोअर था. सो दीज स्टॉक्स वर डाउन ऑन अ लोअर वॉल्यूम, विच इज नॉट एन इश्यू. हाउएवर अगर आप बैंक निफ्टी के स्टॉक्स देखेंगे, एचडीएफसी बैंक देखो, कोटक बैंक देखो, ये एसबीआई, इंडसइंड, सारे स्टॉक्स अबव एवरेज वॉल्यूम, मोर देन 50%, 150%, 60%, 200% ऑफ एवरेज वॉल्यूम पे सारे ऊपर थे. So that again tilt towards the positive side, right? If you look at the sectoral views, so Nifty Bank gave the highest level closing. So I'm not saying it made a new high, but on the closing basis, it's at a highest level, and the probabilities are that it might continue its gain. If you look at the other sectors, the auto, no major loss or gain. The financial service was good. Yes, the loss came from the IT sector, as we discussed. FMCG was flat almost. Media metals did well today. Pharma again down 0.5%. And yes, all the banks continued to do well. Realty was down around 0.7%. Okay. So next, among the key news, like India's August WPI inflation was at around 12.4%, lower than estimates. एस्टिमेट था कि 12.7 से 13, 12.8, 13 जितना आएगा. एंड कोर इन्फ्लेशन वाज एट 7.8. The UK declared its August CPI inflation and it was at 9.9% on a YOY basis. Estimate was around 10%. So you can say inline estimate. Vedanta was the one of the top gainer today. It gained almost 10%. As it has a joint venture with Foxconn, and they are going to set up the semiconductor plant in Gujarat. And there was very positive comments coming from the chairman of Vedanta for this project, and they want to expand it to a very good margin, this project, and they want to be one of the leading guys in as far as the semiconductors is concerned. And I think you might be knowing that last 1-2 साल से ऑटोमोबाइल में डिमांड अच्छा है, बट सप्लाई साइड प्रॉब्लम है. तो सेमीकंडक्टर की वजह से प्रॉब्लम है. एंड इवन इन द इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एरिया. सो व्हेन इंडिया इज प्लानिंग टू मेक इन इंडिया, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स में, मोबाइल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में, टीवी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में, वी वांट टू बी वर्ल्ड लीडर, राइट? वी हैव नाउ एप्पल ओवर हियर, सैमसंग भी बनाता है, डिक्सन सारे मोबाइल्स और टीवी बनाता है. तो semiconductor, having made in India semiconductor with a huge capacity for auto as well as electronics is very important, and that was very positively taken by the market, and that's why it was up more than 10% at one point of time. The other talk of the town was around the logistics stocks. So our honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, will be unveiling the national logistics policy for the seamless movements of goods, and that is to be done on 17th. And yes, so on September 17th, the honorable Prime Minister will unveil this scheme. And see, there are discussions that our cost is very high. So logistics cost in our country is at around 13 to 14% of the GDP. ये काफी high है. बाकी जनरली देखो तो 10 से कम होना चाहिए, बट हमारा 3-4% is very high. And I think government will set a plan to go below that 10% to GDP, and this will be very helpful to not only the logistics company, but जो भी इंडस्ट्री है जिसमें लॉजिस्टिक्स का यूज ज्यादा है, जैसे कि सीमेंट्स. सो टुडे सीमेंट स्टॉक्स वेर मूविंग हियर एंड देयर लाइक 4%, 5%, 7%, सब में तेजी थी सीमेंट स्टॉक में. तो अगर सीमेंट कंपनीज का अभी आप इन्वेस्टर प्रेजेंटेशन उठा के देखो, अल्ट्राटेक का देखो, किसी और का देखो, 30% 40% उनका लॉजिस्टिक्स कॉस्ट हो जाता है, कभी कभी 30% उनका लॉजिस्टिक कॉस्ट है। तो अभी अगर गवर्नमेंट उस सेक्टर में काफी रिफॉर्म्स लाएगी, एंड सी दैट्स वेरी कॉमन दैट व्हेन it is from the government side, when the prime minister is releasing this you know scheme, then there will be some very important reforms that we can expect. And that's the reason the cost of logistics might come down. It will be positive, easy, जो logistic है वो easy हो जाएगा, cost भी कम हो जाएगा। तो जो भी कंपनी का लॉजिस्टिक कॉस्ट हाई है, लॉजिस्टिक कंपनीज खुद है उनके लिए, तो दैट दीज थिंग्स आर पॉजिटिव फॉर देम, एंड दैट्स व्हाई ऑल दोस स्टॉक्स एंड द सेक्टर्स वर इन द मोमेंटम. So chart of the day. So we can go with CONCOR, that is the Container Corporation of India. We have selected this one as the chart of the day. So the setup is very good. It's a stage one base. And what's interesting part is the right side of the base. Agar, let me annotate it. See this one. So यहाँ पे एक strong momentum आया था. ये red line 50 DM है. वहाँ से rebound दिया. ठीक है. और look at the volume. So the accumulation was very very good in the container corporation. Plus जो last quarter का उनका result था, that was above estimates. So revenue almost 2000 crore पे पहुंच गया है उनका. And if you look at the earnings, so उनका PAT almost 290-95 crore का आया था last time. And management is very positive. So they have guided that in next 3 to 4 years, जो उनका volumes है, that will increase around 60 to 70% or even more than that. So this is very positive. अगर 70-80% volume increase हो जाता है 3 to 4 years में, that means the revenue can constantly be about 20-25% का growth revenue भी दिखा सकता है, and it can also translate to the bottom line as well. So fund holding is good. More than 600 funds are intact in the stock. And if you see, look at the estimates, 23, 4, 5 के estimates देखिए आप. So for 23 and 4, more than 20% EPS growth. And even after this high EPS growth, in 25 also 10% का estimate है. So overall it looks quite positive. Recent earnings are good. Ratings अच्छे, EPS of 77 and improving. Right, price strength 60 का है, but guys देखिए ये ऊपर जा रहा है. The RS line is moving higher and the relative strength blue dot list में आया है. The blue dots over here, that indicates that this is a new relative strength line, new RS line. So it's a very positive setup, and this could be the part of your watch list. The stock is very close to the ideal buy zone, but the important part is that it should move higher on the volume from this. यहाँ पे थोड़ा स्टक हो गया है बिकॉज ऊपर से क्लोजिंग नीचे आ रहा है. ऊपर जा तो रहा है इंट्राडे, बट क्लोजिंग नीचे आ रहा है. यू वांट सम गुड क्लोजिंग और इट मेक्स अ न्यू हाई फ्रॉम हियर, देन दैट विल बी in the buy zone and a very good setup. So that's it for today's session. Thank you for joining. So see you tomorrow again at 8:45 a.m. in the morning. Let's see how the US market reacts after yesterday's knee jerk. वहाँ पे थोड़ा improve होता है और गिरता है. How the SGX is placed and what all things to look for the Indian market tomorrow. We will discuss all that tomorrow at 8:45 in the morning. Till then, take care. Thank you.